Yes, my dear students, we are resuming after a lovely breakfast break. The weather is also so pleasant. So with such pleasantness at heart, we are going to proceed with SM, right? Now come back to your classification of business environment. As I always mention to my students, there should be a clarity on the components of internal environment and components of external environment. Now, where will be there a confusion is your internal and micro are not one and the same. Some students assume like that. So what is your internal environment? Purely the term internal implies that which can be changed, revised, bound by the policy of the management. Organization has a control over them. Those components are internal. I repeatedly say this even in the class. Some of you would know. But in the external, we are talking about two segments where this is called as an immediate periphery. Your micro is an immediate periphery in the sense you are going to be in constant touch with these members. Look at it. Customers, market suppliers, intermediaries, organization by mean board, which will have even shareholders, no? That's why they are not coming here. Which will have even shareholders, isn't it? So immediate periphery. But here macro is a larger picture where your business is located and operating. It has an influence. And let it be micro or let it be macro, organization has no control over it, even micro. Because we are bringing those factors which cannot be strictly bound by the management as such. You may say, ma'am, what about these, ma'am? Customers and suppliers? You can only negotiate. They are not your members. Right? They are not internal parts. These people are members. These are internal resources, internal members, internal opportunities, competencies. These are outside. Right? So remember that part very, very clearly. Now here, among the micro components in your syllabus, macro is given importance. Under micro, you have to remember two core components: intermediaries, competition. Okay, two things. And when you talk about marketing intermediaries, do you all remember the example which I gave in the class? Anybody remembers? I told you that please have a memory on this about intermediaries. I'll tell you something on intermediaries. Please remember that now. We are in chapter 2. So my dear students, please look at it. In chapter 2, as we were discussing about these segments, let me tell you something very important: layers. Few clarifications also we saw. Environmental scanning, essay analysis, a brief note. I've given the example of Coca-Cola. So look at this diagram. This is what I said, the complete chart, essay chart, isn't it? Okay. Now, yeah, biscuit brand, I told you, no, by evidence from the field, Parle-G biscuit, I told you, it's a risky industry because too many competitors, including MNCs. And taste only predominates, not brand loyalty. If today a new biscuit is launched and you like the taste, you don't stick on to your brand. But amidst this, Parle-G has got the top place. Two important, Parle and Britannia, which stood the competitive forces and lasted long. That's what we have given as a case study for you, what we elaborated in class. So this is the bigger picture of it. And what I wanted to tell you is this. Look at this, my dear students. My intermediaries, because there is one question which is asked from this segment. So what is this intermediaries all about? Now these people are like they are not people who are manufacturers, but they are sourcing items from the manufacturers and selling it under their brand to the people. So what happens is, I shop from Big Bazaar or Pantaloons thinking that it is their own products. But Big Bazaar or Pantaloons, they source products from several companies and give me. In that way, we are talking of them as intermediaries. So they buy products from many people. They are competent enough with respect to marketing strategies and they are able to sell the product. Today, how many of us are shoppers of big bazaars and pantaloons? Branded, known, isn't it? Anything from the house of big bazaar, yeah, I go. They have offers, they have discounts, they have coupons, they have gifts, they have price slashes, whatnots and whatnots. And any product you want, you go there, you visit, you get it. But we are not talking about the brand of the product we take, but we call it as from big bazaar. Do you understand? So these intermediaries have a considerable influence on the organization. Marketing intermediaries, they are emerging as a major source. Many cases consumers are not aware of the manufacture of the products. They are not aware. We just want to shop from the particular thing, right? So they go, they buy from the retailers or departmental stores or online stores also. But however, we are giving you a big example of this big bazaar and pantaloons. And now you know that this big bazaar is rebranded as Smart Bazaar. See, you have the Smart Bazaar. Look at the word smart. Can you see that? It's there in blue. Right. So we are ready to buy from a company which is registered in our mind, even unmindful of the brand or the manufacturing company from which the product is. So that those are called as marketing intermediaries. And with respect to competition, my dear students, you have to know one point with respect to competition. You have a slide here also. Now look at these two pictures. Competition can be direct and competition can be indirect. This is one question they are asking. Direct competition means, see, I am running a hotel, right? Another hotel is my competitor. Direct competition. Now, I am doing a hotel business. I am there in hotel and there is a mall nearby. That mall has a food court. That mall has a chat corner. So what happens is people who come for shop, go for shopping, they get tired at the end of the day. They don't come out and step out to me to buy the food. Rather, they have whatever is available in the food corner at the mall. So that is indirect competition. Okay, direct versus indirect, please remember, because in micro segment, they have confined as per your parents, so it's just an abridged points are only given. Who come under micro? And the main thing which we may not be clear about is the marketing intermediaries as well as the competition which can be direct and indirect. Okay, are you clear, my dear students, about this part, which is what I wanted to tell you very clearly. Okay, now what is a macro environment? Please understand the definition. I think in our chart we have already given the macro element, Gluck and Josh. See, they are people who together have contributed a lot. Note down the name of the management expert, and here you understand that factors outside the firm. Earlier also William Gluck said that. Here again Gluck and Josh together, factors outside the firm. Socio-economic, technical, competitor, government, etc. So, the external environment can be made of individuals, teams, organizations, agencies and factors. They are also interacting with the business because you have micro component and macro component coming under external. Micro is immediate periphery, constant touch. Macro is the ambience in which they are located and operating, therefore they have a major influence. Are you clear? Now under macro, demographic. We have seen all the list of a demographic is a science of population study. Characteristics of population are discussed there. All age, density of the population, income status, all this come there. Socio-cultural, it talks about family traditions, values, beliefs, all these which are social parameters. Classification based on caste, creed, race, religion, economic factors. Under economic factors, we will talk about economic condition, trade cycle operation, economic systems. You remember, capitalism, socialism, mixed economy would have studied forms of economic governance, isn't it? You also have another something economic condition, that is trade cycle swings, ups and downs, right? And you also have another important aspect is your macro variables. So you can understand economic environment as economic systems. I'm just comprising and giving you economic systems, economic situation or condition in a country driven by trade cycle ups and downs, and also economic variables, rather macroeconomic variables. These may be the examples for economic environment. And how do they ask a question? I will give you a parameter and you have to tell whether it is demographic, social, or political, legal, etc. Okay, that is what we are also going to see as an example, legal political framework. All things relating to the political bureaucracy and laws of the country will come under this component, right? And look at this relevant laws. It can be companies law, competition, intellectual property, foreign exchange, labor, and so on. Now, what is added in your example is for political segment, Make in India and Atmanirbhar Bharat, make it as important also. Because they have added this segment, I'm not joking, my dear students, for the political component. Remember, you have to know. And what is nationalism? It talks, particularly the empirical context is Indian case study. These are case examples. They are Indian case studies, case examples in Indian context as such. That's why it's very important. Make in India. So, make India a manufacturing hub. Why should I always import from the other country and export in another country? Why should I import raw materials, technology, or semi-finished goods and make in India? Let India become a manufacturing hub. Are you clear? That is what. Atmanirbhar Bharat. How many of you know this scheme? Self-sufficient India. Very good. What else you know about it?
The government is supporting various industries to produce within the country itself and export it.
Very
Good. On themselves.
Excellent. You have understood it very clearly. So let me show you that Atmanirbhar Bharat. See? Self-Reliant India campaign. Look at this. When was it launched? 12th May 2020. So much of details we gave you. Look at the 5 pillars. You can also draw a chart like this. Compartmentalize into 5. Okay. So you have supply chain, rational tax system, simple and clear laws, capable human resources, strong financial system. Or you can give economy, infrastructure, technological system, demography, demand. Okay, and Make in India scheme, most of you know that India wanted to become a manufacturing hub to the world itself, and 25th September 2014 it was launched by the Prime Minister under the Ministry of Commerce and Industry. Right, we will have our own conducive environment for manufacturing. Right, so that is a very important point you have to understand there. And yeah, so under PESTL, each of these points, PESTEL, remember, all these points have a particular, and technology. As per your book, 3 important technology has been mentioned: artificial intelligence, machine learning, and robotics. Okay, and you have an example of PESTL framework like this: political, economic, social, technological, legal, and environmental. Okay, the framework with sub-components are given. So make this chart, revise this chart once or twice. I make it there, you also take down. PESTL framework has to be revised. Because I am also going to ask you now. Okay. Now, internationalization. What is the internationalization? Stepping into the global market. What is the advantage of it? Economies of scale. What is economies of scale? Advantages arising out of operating on a large scale. I have a benefit when I'm a big client. Bank is respecting me and giving me credit, giving me finance. When I'm a big firm, I can have my own godowns and warehouses instead of hiring public warehouses. I can have my own transportation facility instead of sourcing transportation service from outside. These are the advantages. Therefore, you go for internationalization. So understand the meaning of international trade. Also understand what is this international trade all about. And if you look at the strategic planning process, whether domestic or international, it's one and the same. There's no difference. That's what we're trying to say. SM process is the same. Only the domain is little bigger. Do you understand, my dear students? So look at some of the Indian products in the international market. You can give concrete example. So automobiles, pharmaceuticals, petroleum and jewelry are considered to be crucial export items from India. Crucial export items from India. So look at this point. And in case of global business, these are all characteristics which you may be knowing. Merits and demerits you may be knowing. the word conglomerate. Make a note of it. You may be asked in MCQ, you may be asked a definition. It is a multi-industry company. A conglomerate is a business jargon which is used to define a multi-industry company. Look at the top 7 conglomerates of India I have given you. Reliance Industries, Tata Group, Aditya Birla, Mahindra Group, Bajaj Group, Adani Group and L&T Group. So these are considered to be multi-industry business, and so you have a term called as conglomerate to define them. Now look at the steps in strategic planning process. What are you doing? Assessment of opportunities and threats, scope of a firm to enter into the global market, fixing the objectives, strategies. What are you doing? Screening opportunities and threats, understanding the scope of the individual player in the foreign market, fixing the objectives, fixing the strategies. Right? Are you clear about it? And okay, reasons to go global, you need not have to say. You have to know only one thing. What is that? The 3 levels. A note on what is meant by value added. My dear students, please remember, this is also, you have to give a value added product if you go to the international market. That's a one sentence. What is value added? Means a customer is willing to pay a price more than even what is charged because of the utility provided by that product. You and me as a customer will never give higher price. We only negotiate, bargain for a lower price. Now value creation is, to that extent the commodity has been designed, its features are so, it meets my need, I am ready to pay more than that. I will tell you one thing. One person told me that, person in the sense a sales person, this normal day-to-day commodity like tea, there is one, I think it's Brook Bond or what, it has all 5 natural ingredients there. The 5 in tulsi and all those herbal ingredients. It's like a herbal tea. It's from the house of Brook Bond, okay, India Limited. So she was telling me that the one customer said, a loyal customer, when she was going on a survey, I believe she said, I am already price is quite high if you see that, or if you are buying that. She said, I'm ready to pay more price, but don't withdraw this from the market. I'm ready to pay a more price rather than normal tea, these 5 ingredients. Otherwise, she used to, what to say, make a ginger tea. She has to buy it. She has to do some extra effort and put it. Now it's just easy for me to make a cup of tea for all of us, which is having that herbal content, which is having a healing property. Otherwise, she used to source herbs and she has to make it. She says, now I don't even have to go for a kashayam. It seems outrightly. And when she was, that lady showed me the questionnaire, even she wanted me to fill up, she was telling me one thing. No people complained about the price hike. Actually, the price has been hiked. No people were complaining. No people had any issue. People who said we'll pay more for you. So we are only talking about value added as a scenario where the customer is ready to pay for more. And it differs. Here we are telling about so many other products, some of our features for value addition, free trials, complimentary refreshments, in some of the repair service centers, they have coffee corners. You have a refreshment center there itself. Waiting rooms, free product samples, membership discounts, free shipping, thank you messages. All these are pleasing. I'm ready. So he is so happy about it. Are you clear in this part? Okay, my dear students, see, price. Product's price, the addition of value can thus increase a product's price that the consumers are willing to pay. I'm ready to pay more is the point we are trying to tell you. Okay. Now merits and demerits, that which you can do on your own. Now come to this part. My dear students, mark this as important. International environment assessment should be done at 3 levels. National, that is multinational, which is international, regional and country. So look at the 3 important points. You are doing it at the 3 important levels. So multinational environment analysis, regional environment analysis, country specific environment. Multinational environment analysis is about the global environment itself on a large scale. What is the demand for tea in foreign countries? What is the demand for beverages in foreign countries? What is the demand for khadi products in foreign countries? For that you have to do it. Identify, anticipate, monitor the main things, right? International, global. Second one is regional. So here you are going to go for an in-depth evaluation in specific geographical area, like eastern countries, western countries. You divide the global environment itself into regions and you study. And third one is country specific study. This particular country. So global eastern western countries, in eastern like Japan, India, or say Japan, China, western US, that is country level. So global environment, regional environment, country level. So it goes narrower but deeper. Global is broad, regional is narrow, country is still narrow, but more and more of depth. That's what you're trying to say. Is it clear, my dear students? And any day, even when you do international assessment, you have all these factors. You have to screen political risks, cultural differences, exchange rate, fluctuations, legal compliances, and taxation issues. Is that clear? So this is about what? Chapter 2, part 1, which I told you is like general. In second part only you have more issues coming in, isn't it? Now in this part, can you take a couple of theory questions which I want to give you? So shall we do a small exercise on this part? Something which you can relate to, I will ask, okay? As classroom exercise, I can ask you. Yeah, please. Is it becoming very chill? Okay. This is your chapter 2, isn't it? What does the letter E, just for E, and I'm giving here collect these questions and you can do it. I'll give you a couple of theory questions, okay? Give the layers in business atmosphere. I think I made you even write it in the class today. Layers in business atmosphere, just to see whether you are able to even recollect some of these, because recollection is very, very important. Expand essay. Essay is disseminating the information, the collected information. That is true or false? True or false? Disseminating the collected information. what are the two components? You have to write your answer in your notebook, okay? What are the two components that come in, that are included in the x and y axis in a risk matrix? Gender comes under social component, political component C, economic component D, none. Okay. Per capita income. Per capita income comes under dash in pencil. Do these 7 questions. Answer the 7. Don't look into the discussed points. Try to write what you know, because it is theory from chapter 2 first part. Okay. Classroom exercises are important. So I am giving you classroom exercises. Done. Other two are still doing. Done. Okay. Yes, now we'll move on. Okay. What does the second E denote in the PESEL framework? Yes, environmental, isn't it? Perfect answer. Give the layers in the business atmosphere. You remembered the layers? What are those? Yes. Key stakeholders. Very good. Expand SA. Strategic analysis. SA stands for strategic analysis. SA is disseminating the collected information, true or false. Why? Compiling the information. Very good. What are the two components that are included in the X and Y axis in a risk matrix? Strategic risk, isn't it? X axis, it will be time. Okay. Gender comes under which component? Social, political, economic, none of the given. This is be loud. You're all answering, but be loud. You say none of the above. Why? Because demographic. Fantastic. Yes, it's none of the above because it comes under demographic. Perfect. Per capita income comes under which? Sorry, this R is under which? Right? So you need to remember components like this. Is that clear, my dear students? So this is what is your chapter 2 first part all about. Okay, more I will give you, I'll ask you also. Now we will move on to, see, look at your puzzle 2. Okay, cultural, all this is given here. Now part 2. Part 2 is where you have to note a lot of things. Okay, starting from, see, it has these segments. And it's more of a technical segment. To be honest with you, I cannot say it is a non-technical segment. It's a thoroughly a technical segment as well. Okay. So, which means unless you study, you can't answer. You can't write your own. That internationalization and all you can write on your own. This is a technical segment which you have to focus and write. Okay. Understanding product and industry, where you have PLC, product life cycle, value chain analysis as given by Michael Porter. Industry environment analysis, Porter's 5 forces, attractiveness of industry, experience curve, a graphical segment, value creation, a segment on value creation. Then market and customer. The repeated question is difference between consumer and customer. You know the difference between consumer and customer? Okay.
Buy the product, but consumers will buy the person who consume it.
Yes. So a customer is coming and shopping in your okay, in your shop. He buys, but not for himself. If a father goes and buys stationery for the kids, who is a consumer and who is a customer? Yes, kids are the consumers. So that's what you do here. Consumer behavior also. And again, competitive strategy and competitive landscape is rather a new thing for you. Actually, CLC and key factors for competitive success, very important, and that is what we are going to discuss now. So regarding product and industry, my dear students, be very clear about these certain segments which are very important. That is, product can be tangible or intangible. Look at the core points. Okay, and it is determined by demand and supply. Price is determined by demand and supply and cost, isn't it? And price is determined by the components like market, quality, marketing and targeted group. Look at your demand and supply diagram. Downward sloping demand, upward sloping price, intersection gives you your price. Okay, and product has certain important features. Their function, design, quality and experience are important. So definitely product has to satisfy the needs of the consumer. You have to make it marketable. Okay, and product enables production, quality, sales, marketing and logistics. Now mark this as important. Product life cycle, repeated question. Now what we have done is, how should I write this, ma'am? Write the introductory note, draw this diagram. You also have an empirical diagram for this. Taking the case of Nokia, their introductory phase where they had concept phones, growth phase with Nokia E, maturity phase with Nokia N, and decline. Slowly Nokia Windows and all those saw a decline. So we have also given a case study in your book. So you can use this. This is an empirical diagram because it is a case study presented. It's an empirical diagram. You can use it. So you draw the theoretical diagram, explain the each stage, introduction, growth, maturity, saturation or decline with their respective features, and you come to the concept of the empirical case study with a diagram or a note. Okay, as we saw in the class, that's very important. Okay, harvest strategy, my dear students, a repeated question. What is meant by harvest strategy? Explain harvest strategy. Now, for example, a company is going to, the growth phase has ended because it's based on PLC only. Growth phase has ended. What should I do? The idea is, don't invest more on it. Don't make further investments. But as long as it is there, allow it to operate because you can gain from it and invest in some alternative strategies. Can you understand? When the growth phase for a product has ended, should you down the shutters? Don't do it. Let it continue. Don't make fresh investments, but use the money from it. As long as you are there selling it, you're getting a revenue, no? Use it for investing in other businesses. Or related business. A soft drinks concern knows that the future is going to be not very promising in the coming decades or for the coming generation. Soft drinks, why? It is not having any health ingredient. So what they can do is, a soft drinks manufacturer can use that revenue for starting a energy drink segment, which is not based on this carbonated one, which has milk as a content or fruits as a content, fresh juice, energy drinks you can start. So you are not closing this. Let it operate. There is still some market for it. Take that proceeds. Don't reinvest in it because it will not grow further. Invest it in related segment. Are you clear, my dear students? Harvesting strategy. Now this is value chain analysis. Mark this as extremely important. Michael Porter's value chain analysis. Definitely primary activities. Repeated question, essay type and MCQs. It will be asked. Now look at the primary activities. Note it down in the MCQs. I'm going to ask inbound logistics, operations, outbound logistics, marketing and sales, service. They are all primary activities. To do the primary activities, you need supportive activities. And that support activities are firm's infrastructure, human resource management, technological development, procurement. What is the basic activity? Primary. To support that, you have support activities. How many primary activities? 5. How many support activities? 4. So remember the components. I'm going to ask you there. Okay. And draw the chart and margin. You follow this, returns are guaranteed. Okay. So value chain analysis is a very important topic which you have to do. Okay. Now come to industry environment analysis. Porter's 5 forces. attractiveness of industry, experience curve, value creation. 4 ingredients coming under industry environment analysis. You saw, isn't it, industry as one of the layers? Didn't we see that? Okay, now this is the comprehensive chart. If you study this for Michael Porter's 5 forces, it's more than enough. I told you in the class itself. There is a smaller diagram also which I showed you in the class, if you can remember. What is this? This part. Chapter 1, part 1. We are in chapter 2, part 2, isn't it? Chapter 2, part 2. Just want to show you that. Please listen to this, my dear students. What I'm going to show you is this. So Michael Porter's model is there for you. And yeah, each of these components, what is outbound, what is inbound, what is marketing, what is sales. Now you have a case study which is also represented. This is for service. LG Electronics is most attractive brand in India. You know that it has earned the name called as most attractive brand in India. Why? Because of its service facility. That is highly acknowledged, right? Okay. Now infrastructure, for each of these we have definitions. What is meant by infrastructure? I think those things you know. In industry environment analysis, yes, I will show you this. This is a simpler diagram. But what you can study is this master chart. Because what should come under threat of new entry, what is competitive rivalry, what is buyer's power or buyer's potential, supplier's power, threat of substitutes, competitive rivalry. So the 5 forces along with their subdivisions are given in this chart. What are the 5 threats? Threat of new entry. This is existing rivals. Please remember, the center part is existing rivals. Threat of new rivals, threat of existing rivals, buyer's bargaining power, seller's bargaining power, threat of substitutes. Substitution or substitutes. Remember the 5 forces. Okay? Yes. Now, how can we discuss the attractiveness of the industry? When depending upon all these criteria. The growth potential, viable future, profitability, competitive forces, industry's profitability, whether it's favorable or unfavorable, potential to capitalize on the vulnerabilities of the weaker rivals, strength of the company to defend itself, degree of uncertainty in the industry itself. Okay, so those are the main points. Look at the experience curve. Mark it as important. You know what does experience curve teach you? Anybody tell me? Let me see whether anyone is able to. You should have studied by now. Experience curve. The other name for it is learning curve. Experience or learning curve. What do you understand by this curve, or what does this graphical representation tell you?
The cost will be this. The cost will be reduced per unit of goods produced.
Fantastic. Excellent. The more and more you expand your production, the lesser and lesser will be the cost. But can you also tell me why is the term experience or learning given there? Why is this? How does this fit in? Beautiful explanation you gave. Exact explanation for the downward sloping curve. This is EC or experience curve. But why is the word experience or learning added?
Because for first time when they say when the company is going to produce it, they learn it newly and they have to produce it from scratch. As they go on, they know what you have to produce and what it is you have to do. So it will be a routine for them. So
with experience only, you know the tactics of doing business in such a way that cost reduction happens. Optimum utilization of resources, you must have heard. Point of optimality, what is that? Maximum benefit and minimum cost. When do I know that? With experience, through learning. As I, through time, as time passes on, as I expand, as I grow, I learn this technique. That's why the word experience. Are you clear, my dear students? And please note this point. Which company case study? Very important. Parent source case study. Indian automobile industry. The experience curve seems to be working where? In which company? Maruti Suzuki. They'll give you 4 options. You have to write this parent source example. So we are trying to give you an example that one of the beautiful companies where experience curve is a solidly an example is Maruti Suzuki in Indian automobile industry. Are you clear about this point? Okay. Now value creation. How is value creation? I already gave you a note there. Product features, quality, availability, durability and performance as well as services. Now look at the graph diagram for value creation. Hardly you will even remember unexpected question, but it will come. So mark it as unexpected. You didn't expect this. So many aspects are there in this particular component. Unexpected question. Suddenly you will find diagrammatically explain the concept of value creation. You have a customer segment, you are a firm segment. What does the firm focus on? Cost. What does the customer focus on? Value, right? Price is in between. So cost plus value to the customer determines the price. And ultimately you have to land in profitable pricing. As simple as that, okay? Explanation. Then you have the market and customer segment. As I told you, customer versus consumer. And in customer analysis, you study the nature of the customer, his bargaining power, etc. For customer behavior, please note this diagram. I put it as unexpected because students don't touch these segments. That is why I brought this into capsule. Unexpected question. If you have a couple of unexpected questions, gone case you are. Because I didn't expect this, I didn't expect this, you can't say no. That is why I'm also giving unexpected question. What is the process of consumer behavior? Internal factors, external factors. Internal factors, my need, my requirement, all this. External factors is influence caused by the market, right? You make a decision and after that there's you purchase it. Post purchase, should I continue to buy this brand? Should I recommend anybody? If I'm not happy, I won't recommend. I won't buy, I won't recommend. That's why post purchase is also very important. Post purchase actions. And external, ma'am, what do you say? Why do you say external behavior? I am a consumer, okay? I need a commodity. There is a need for me, so I buy. I want a digital pen, so I buy. External stimuli, when others show off. Have you heard of the word demonstration effect? In economics, we have a term called as demonstration effect. Just because my neighbors are having, just because advanced countries are having, I want it. Developing country wants it. I want it. My neighbor is buying a car, I buy. My neighbor has a scooty, I'll buy. Your classmate is having a notebook, a posh notebook you want to buy. They have a pen costing 100 rupees you want to buy. It's not your need. Am I clear, my dear students? Yes, please note this diagram. Mark it. Did you mark it? Okay. Now I'm going to give you 2 options. Do you need a 5 minutes break or do you need a quiz test? Before continuing further, there are 2 options for you. One is a test, classroom exercise, the other one is a break. Because another 2 hours you have to stand. Break. Okay. We'll take a break now and I will come back and let's get into the test segment. Oh, is it frozen? No. Yes. What happened? Tell me. Oh. Okay. So take down the question with options. From the previous years, everything noted for you. Yes, question 1. The philosophical base, the philosophical base of SM falls within the concept of, I'll give you the options: A, portfolio analysis, B, globalization, C, vision statements, D, strategic intent. Okay. Next one. Second question. The statement where we want to go, denotes a company's objective. Okay. B, policy. Strategy. D, vision. Okay. Next one. Which one is not an element of strategic intent? Okay, I'll give you: A, business model, B, vision, C, business vision, should be informed. Vision, business definition, business standard. Okay. Okay, fourth question, I'll give you 5 questions. Okay, fourth one. An important activity in SM is taking corrective action. An important activity, 5 questions I'll give you. Activity in SM is taking corrective actions. A, strategy evaluation. B, strategy implementation. implementation, C, strategy formulation, D, strategy leadership. So let's do these questions first. Let me see. Done, na? Yes? Both of you done? Okay. So after this, one case study you're going to do. Right. The philosophical base of SM falls within the concept of, given this, what would you choose? Pardon? Vision statements, strategic intent. Because the order is strategic value, intent, vision, mission, goals and objectives, activities. Which is closer? Intent. You see that? The statement where we want to go denotes a company's where we want to go. Okay. Which one is not an element of strategic intent? This is like an in and around question. So this model also I want to give. Business model, vision, business definition, business standard. What do you feel? Which is not an element of intent? Intent means purpose. Business model, vision, business definition, business standard. Business definition, okay. You too? Yes.
It's vision. I guess.
To guess its vision. The answer is business standard. Standard is a yardstick, a measure. So intent is a purpose. So a model requires a purpose. A model also reflects a vision. A model is also defined. Standard is a measuring yardstick, which is different. Follow that? Okay. So yes. And an important activity in SM is taking corrective actions. Among the options, which would suit? Fantastic. Strategic evaluation. Are you clear in this? Okay. Now take a case study. We are going to do a small case study now. It is also okay. Drishti Care is a not-for-profit organization. Okay, I will write it here. Case. Drishti care is a not for profit eye hospital, and a research center, which one of the following statements is likely to relate to Drishti care vision. Please remember, vision rather than its mission. Which one of the following statements? There it's revealing its vision rather than its mission. So remember that, okay? This is how they will ask you a case entwined question, which was asked also. What happened? You're all looking there? Okay, so yeah. So now I'll write the options here. Probably. One option is for Drishti care, I'll write DC, okay? DC places patient care before all else. Okay? Second, Drishti care offers the highest level of patient care throughout the country. Okay. Third one is Drishti care will be the global leader in eye surgery. Drishti care consultants strive to continually, what happened, Soumya?
Soumya, ma'am.
Kausalya? That opened. Teacher, now please read this case study. I'm giving you an important case study because after this I'm going to continue our theory portion. Will improve surgical techniques. Third option. Very good. Why did you choose a third one? One of you answer me. One fine day it will become the global leader, not today, isn't it? So that is the point you have to mention. Okay. Yes. Now can we go for a little bit of theory part and then come back? We will sandwich between the two. Okay, so that's where you are also going to understand some things. Okay. Yes, my dear students, please come to the part which we are discussing now. We have to go to competitive strategy. Okay, competitive strategy, and there you have competitive landscape, key factors for competitive success. So what is a competitive landscape? It's a very important question. Please mark it there outrightly. An important question. Competitive landscape is a business analysis which identifies competitors, let them be direct competitors or indirect competitors. What is competitive analysis landscape, my dear students? A business analysis which enables you to identify your competitors. Who are my rivals? Let them be direct, let them be direct. Indirect, we are not bothered. But who are main events? For which it is used. Okay? So you are going to identify, understand your computers. Okay? And their vision, mission, core values, niche, market, strength and weaknesses. Who says that? Their vision, mission, core competencies about them you are going to know. All this will come under CLA. CLA stands for competitive landscape. It is a business analysis whereby you are studying about the competitor, understanding them and all of this. So in a question, a strategic manager ought to know about the vision and mission of the competitors as well. It's true or false? It's true. Not only my own vision or mission, but rather my company's vision and mission to a larger extent is influenced by the rivals' vision, mission, etc. Right? Okay. Right. Here, look at another point. Competitive landscape requires an application of a business tool called as competitive intelligence. The difference between the two, to understand competitive landscape, we need a tool which is called as competitive intelligence. And what is competitive landscape? Understanding whom? The competitor, the company's vision, mission, etc. Right? So please note that. Now, key success factors. Please look at it, my dear students. For success of the organization, these factors are important. Please look at it. I've also given in our material elaborately the key success factors. Strategy elements, product attributes, resources, competencies, competitive capabilities, business outcomes that bring about profit and loss, and also about the competitors' success and failures. Right? All these are KSF. And look at our slide also. In our slide also I've mentioned it in a very detailed manner. I'll show you this. Comes under part B. I'll show you this chapter 2. We are in chapter 2, part 2. Isn't it? Now just have a glimpse into what we are seeing now, please. Learning curve, you understood, you explained learning curve. Attractiveness of the industry, whether the industry is profitable or otherwise. We had certain factors to define attractiveness. Key criteria are given, which we discussed. We brought in certain factors. The severity of the problem, I'm giving you Maggie's case study. The industry as a whole, food industry, junk food segment is facing a problem now. Today people are health conscious. Organic food, organic material versus junk, isn't it? So you have to understand that very clearly. And yes, regarding experience curve, we learn as we grow. Okay, learning effects, economies of scale, advantages because of learning, because of growing. The graph is given. She also explained the graph very clearly to us, isn't it? And Maruti Suzuki's example also we saw. Yes, in India, and a small tabulation data. You can give anyone data to say how it is one of the most topmost selling brand in India. Latest data has been given to you. A small research study on Maruti and how innovative it is. Value creation. So I told you value creation, you remember it? And this is one example, my dear students, of value creation. Do you see what is done here? Yes. And what is the innovation about it? What is the innovation about it? Be loud. Be loud. What is innovative about it? Okay. And here, 3D pen. You draw, it looks projected. The object looks projected. Supposing I am using this in my art, or painting or art, whatever it is, I'm going to get a different beautiful elevated picture. Right. So a consumer, a parent says, yeah, for this kind of a pen, I'm prepared to pay more than what you're charging. That is value creation. The consumer or the customer should say that I'm ready to pay more than what you're charging because I never expected this something. See, it's looking like a standing animal, right? That's what it is. Value creation chart we saw. See, in cakes also. You make a cake, you make it as a theme cake and give. According to the function. Right? That's an advantage. Michael Porter's perception of value creation we will see in the next chapter. Yeah. And by primary and secondary activities, you can understand value chain analysis. Is that clear, my dear students? Now look at this. Market and customer. Study the initial points about market. You all know market need not be a physical place. It can be a shop, but it can also be virtual. It can be individual. It can be two-party transaction. There will be a bargaining price, isn't it? All those you know. 4 P's. Note it down. 4 P's of marketing. Product, place, pricing, promotion. 4 P's of marketing. Product, place, pricing, promotion. Have you noted it? Four P's. Have you noted it? And I'm going to tell you one more. 4 P's you have noted? Yes. Now look at this. The orientation of product marketing. Product marketing can have product orientation, sales orientation, customer orientation. My dear students, when you talk about orientation of product market, it can be product centric, sales centric, customer centric. What is product centric? You are talking about the quality, the performance, the design and the features. When you are talking about sales, what do you talk about it? Promotion. How do I promote it? Promotion strategies to make them buy the product. Persuading. And when it comes to customer oriented, your need is my base. Okay, under marketing, under vision or mission, product, customer. Here you have 3. Product, sales, customer. Are you clear? Yes. Am I clear, my dear students? Now, customer and consumer, the distinction we saw as an example. In customer analysis, these are the basic requirements. Before customer behavior, you have customer analysis, customer survey, customer data and its studies, evaluation of market positioning strategies, development of customer profiles, selection of the best market segmentation techniques. Right? Customer analysis includes all this. And who are the people involved? About whom we have to collect? What is customer analysis? What are the important information you should have? Against many things you have to have, and basically you are collecting demographic information about the customers. Demographic information about the customers, and from where can you collect information about the customers? From any of these and all of these. Who will give you an awareness about the customer? The buyer, himself, sellers, distributors, salespeople, managers, wholesalers, retailers, suppliers. They all can assist in gathering information. Are you clear? Customer analysis or information of the customer can be sourced from all these. Okay? Customer behavior, shopping frequency, product preferences, perception of marketing and sales, service offerings, all these. Now, can you tell me one thing? As a customer, what is more attractive to you? I mean, do you like to shop frequently? Are you a person who is product specific? You know, you have a preference, or the marketing can impact you, or the service benefits? Product, all of you, not service benefits also. Okay. Now they will give you any three and they'll give you all of them above. Permanent answer is all of them. Are you clear, my dear students? Permanent answer is all of them. Am I getting myself clear? Okay? Yes. I think I don't have to go into details of it. This when we saw the diagrammatic representation. Now look at this competitive strategy. So here, let's look at this competitive. And here, my dear students, Porter's 5 forces model also teaches about the 5 threatening factors. Threat of new entrants, threat of existing rivals, threat of substitutes, buyers, bargaining power, sellers, bargaining, suppliers, bargaining. Okay, this one. Competitive landscape, please look at it. It's a business analytical tool, you remember? All those things, business intelligence is used. Okay. Now, look at this. Essential steps to understand. From where can I know the competitor? Research report, internet, newspaper, social media, industry reports. Okay, all these are the sources from which I can understand. Look at the key success factors. I'm going to ask you questions on that. Examples of key success factors. What is a key success factor? That is very, very important to become prosperous in the market. Your strategic elements, product attributes, resources, competencies, competitive capabilities, and business outcomes. Okay, remember that. I gave you an example of all this. Right. Now, let's go to the question segment. Please take down some questions which I'm going to give you now. Only then we can begin the third chapter. Take down the questions. Okay, go to your page of questions. Go to your page of questions. Okay. Question 1. The price of a product. The price that may be paid is determined by quality, marketing, targeted group, all of the above. Second, identify the intangible identify the intangible product from the following. Okay. Mobile handset, insurance, digital pen, both C. Third one. Here when or where there is a slow down, where there is a slowdown in the growth rate, it is dash stage. I'll give you the options. A is introduction stage, introduction, growth, maturity, decline. Okay. HRM is under primary activities. True or false? Value chain framework, value chain analysis framework was given by which expert? What are the 5 forces in Porter's model? Learning curve is horizontal in nature. True or false? A tool to understand CLA. So what is a tool? Expand CLA. You have to tell that tool and also expand CLA. Give 2 examples of key success factors. And after this, we will do one case study. I'll give you one case study. Then we'll go to chapter 3. Companies, is the last question here. Companies, without options I'm giving you. Companies may employ a dash strategy, when a product or line of businesses, product or line of businesses reaches the end of its useful life. Done. Soumya, have you done? Wait. Georgian, completed? All 10. Doubts are there, but you attempted. What about you, Kausalya? Wait. Done. Okay. Now we move on to the answer segment. Okay. The price that is paid may be determined by Quality, marketing, targeted group, all of the above. You sure? Even targeted group? All of the above. Yes, it is all of the above. My dear students, even the targeted group, that is, ability to pay of a person is also taken into account while fixing the price. Many of them take targeted group as odd man out, which is wrong. Right? Are you understanding that point? It is all of the above. Identify the intangible product from the following. B and C. B alone. Can you tell me, Soumya, why you chose B and C?
We are related to the ones we buying in the company, which is the company things, right? I assume that
This is a digital pen.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, we are deliberately using the term digital to confuse you only. Because when you say immediately B and C, people will take B and C only automatically. That's why we are given. No. This is a tangible. What we see is insurance is intangible. Okay. Where there is a slowdown in the growth rate. Now mark this question as important. From PLC concept, you have to theoretically study the 4 stages. Apart from the empirical question, what is introduction phase, what is growth phase, what is maturity phase, what is decline phase. Very clearly we have given in a material, and the questions are based on that also. Now you tell me what is that you have answered. This is I'm highlighting it to tell you that it's a very important question. You also mark it off right away in your revision material. Okay. Now, which stage are you attributing? Maturity? Not decline. There is a decline, no? There is a slowdown. Just a slowdown. Correct answer. Just a slowdown. A beginning. There it will be phenomenal downward swing or deceleration. At the phenomenal drop, you will have that. It's like beginning. A slowdown. Very good here. It's just a slowdown. So therefore, this is a perfect answer. Don't write decline. Right? Okay. HRM is under primary activities. False. Why? It will come under support activities. So HRM, some people, students say, ma'am, it's a prime occupation now, prime profession. No, we are talking about Michael Porter's framework. Where is HRM? It is not under primary, it is under support. So the answer is false. Okay. Then, value chain analysis framework was given by Michael Porter. You all know that. What are the 5 forces in Porter's model? Repeat. Perfect answer. Excellent. Learning curve is horizontal in nature. False. Are you sure? Then what is it? It is downward sloping. See, these are the terms I want you to be familiar. Upward sloping, downward sloping, vertical and horizontal. I write it here. Please remember, they will ask you the shape. Downward sloping in nature. If not horizontal, if not vertical, it is downward sloping. Inverse relationship between the number of units produced and the cost. Greater the number of units, lesser will be the per unit cost. A tool to understand CLA. What is it? Competitive intelligence. What is CLA expanded? CLA expand CLA. Competitive landscape. Remember that term. Okay. Give 2 examples of key success factors. Let me see whether any of you have remembered what we have given. Of course, n number of key success factors are there. We can't tell you that this is what you should have. We are very clear in that. But what is that you have chosen is what I would also like to test you. Yeah, each of you tell the answer. Resources, competitive capabilities. Fantastic. What do you know? Appealing designs. You wrote from empirical example. Okay. You. Okay. So please remember KSF. You have particular strategy elements. Peculiar ones, product attributes, resources, competencies, competitive capabilities, business outcomes. Okay, remember that part. It's a technical segment. Okay. Companies may employ a dash strategy when a product or a line of business reaches the end of its useful life. What type of strategy it can use? Particular product is ending, harvest. Because I am not going to further invest it, let it continue. I will use that proceeds for some related product. That's where we saw soft drinks to energy drinks. Very good example, harvested. That is what is the answer. Are you clear? Now go for 2 case questions. This with the year, it is from your mock revision test paper and mock test paper. 2 questions are collected for it. Okay. I will write it out for you. Sam was heading the global biscuits SBU for Johnny Limited. Okay. Sam was heading the global biscuits SBU for Johnny Limited. He got an email congratulating him for being promoted. Congratulating him for being promoted as the head of entire business of Johnny's in India. See whether you understood the case study. This Sam, he is getting one email. He is promoted as a head of entire business of Johnny's in India. Okay. Which of the following statements is true about Sam's position? Okay. I will give you the options. Sam was a business level manager. So case question. Sam was a business level manager, but now he is a corporate level manager. B. Sam was a functional manager. Look at my point. Functional manager. But now he is a corporate level manager. Okay. So levels of management, how they are entwining with case study. Look at this point. Sam was a business level manager, and now also he is a business level manager. And D option, last option is Sam was a corporate level manager, and now also he is a corporate level manager. Please read the case study properly once or twice. Read the options once or twice. Silent.
It's doubtful.
1 minute, 1 minute. These are your 4 options. Please look at it. Sam was heading the Global Business Biscuits SBU for Johnny Limited. He got an email congratulating him for being promoted as the head of the entire business of Johnny's in India. Which of the following statement is true about Sam's position? Sam was a business level manager, but now he is a corporate level manager. Sam was a functional manager, but now he is a corporate manager. Sam was a business level manager, now also he is a business level manager. And Sam was a corporate level manager, and now he is a corporate level manager. Which do you see as a little bit appropriate option for the given case study? A. Can you tell us why you say A?
Actually, yours getting the how he
Okay.
So I thought first we did in the business level, and now he is also CEO. Now this is
Very good. That word promotion itself, she took it as an escalation. See, already he is SBU in charge. The next level is anyway corporate level only. Isn't it? Promotion. Very good clue you got. Perfect answer. Yes. What about you two? What is the answer you all chose? Okay. Go to the next case study. Very good understanding. One more case study I will give you now. An organization, this is the case example, an organization during its strategy planning, envisaged entire scenarios and created a strategy framework. So they envisaged everything, forecasted, and they created a strategy framework. Okay. Now, but in the meantime, after implementation, look at these words, in the meantime, after implementation, it realized that its framework is not effective. In certain unique scenarios. What is the reason for the same? They have thoroughly forecasted the scenarios. So what is the reason for the same? Okay, we are giving you the options here now. Improper creation of strategy framework. Improper creation of strategy framework. Option B, strategy is highly reactive and highly proactive. C is lack of analysis and proper planning. Okay. And D, what is D? Strategy is partly proactive and partly reactive. Don't be in a hurry to choose. You read the case study and you give that. Why you are giving that?
In this case, say that to some extent they are predicted the future and they are created some scenarios and to which they are ready. It means that they are already proactive. But due to some unique situations, they have what they have already done has not been working due to the unique situations. So they have to react to the specific unique situations subjectively. They can't be using the already planned
This context.
This.
What about you two? She has given the what is she feels as an answer and why also. What about you two? Just because she said you should not say, just think and give me the answer. And I will tell you what the implication of this is. Lack of analysis and proper planning. Why do you say so? Good. Okay. So because in between they are realizing that it is not effective. Okay. You. A or D. Improper creation of strategy framework. Yes. Now, my dear students, this is a highly subjective question. Subjective question is what the examiner will choose. Okay. However, the answer which is most voted is the D. And many students have answered D for the reason that they have studied theoretically that strategy is partly proactive and partly reactive. That's why I asked her why. But the reason she gave is the reason for this answer. It is not that I've studied because the situation may be changed. Why I encourage your answer is there can be cases where lack of analysis and proper planning is the choice, even though the last one will be there. Just because you have studied that in that last part, don't choose that as an answer. Not in all cases it will match. In all cases it will not match. So the reason is, as she said, see, we started properly. Look at the first point. They envisaged the entire scenario and created an appropriate strategy framework. In the meantime, after implementation, what will I do? That its framework is not effective in certain unique scenarios, which means they could not be predicted before. It's a unique thing. I didn't see pandemic. Not today, rain is a unique scenario. Who will in a hot summer, we were coming with umbrellas to shield us from sun, and we require now umbrellas to shield us from rain. Who thought? Yesterday, imagine this time and today. So this unique scenario is one where a hint telling that even very well planned strategy may not suit because strategy is partly proactive and reactive. So mark this as your perfect answer. See, no use in learning these, but you have to make a note of this also. One other repeated question from the examination, it's a theory question, not a case one, which I want to add immediately is this. Okay. Correct and incorrect sentences. Sample question or example question from correct and incorrect. From correct and choose an incorrect statement from the given. Is there no? You have to be very, very careful about it. Okay. Choose a correct or incorrect from the given. So, okay. Now I will give you 4 statements and you have to find out. Okay. What are those? Strategy is always pragmatic and flexible. Pragmatic and not flexible. See, pragmatic means practical. Strategy is for practical implementation, no? Isn't it? It's not a paper plan. I've told you pragmatic means practical. Okay. Second statement is strategy is not always perfect not always perfect, flawless, and optimal. Third one is strategy is always perfect, flawless, and optimal. And strategy is always flexible but not pragmatic. Flexible but not pragmatic. You are going to choose correct statement from this. Choose the correct for us. So this is an example question for correct and incorrect. We are now going to choose the correct statement. Second one is not always perfect, flawless, and optimal. Fantastic. So if you read theory line by line, you can address the question. That is also a type of. Are you clear, my dear students? Have you got it? Okay. Now go to the chapter 3. Take chapter 3. We are going to mark it as chapter 3. Can you mention some of the frameworks we discussed in chapter 2 so that I can take you to chapter 3? What do you see as frameworks in chapter 2? The exercise we did or the concepts we revised? What do you see as framework or models or matrix? Strategic framework. What are the models, matrices which we studied? Frameworks we studied as examples, classic examples under SM, strategic management. Porter's 5 forces model, 1. Experience curve, yes. PLC, product life cycle. Value chain analysis by Michael Porter, 1 more. 5 forces she said, 1 more. I also tested you. I also asked you a question on that. See, a framework or a model or a matrix will have some chart. There will be some contributor risk. It's a framework. You can't change it. It stands as given. Whatever we use. Risk matrix. Okay, you can take risk matrix also. Strategic risk matrix. Then 1 more also. Then. How many matrix of this chapter 2? No? Seriously? Of course, you saw consumer behavior with the chart, I agree. Essay with the chart, I agree. But again, one framework. No, as a framework. It's a concept. CLA is a concept. Anybody, let me see. One among the 3. Have you forgotten that big thing we did? When you look at SWOT, can you recollect that? When you look at SWOT, can you remember that? Pardon?
I don't know exactly the word.
But you have something in mind. Okay, what is that? You tell me, I will say, is that the word your statement is implying? It's a framework. That's a clue. Yes, that I told. Essay diagram. Of the 3, we'll see who is. We saw a lot of examples on that. You also wrote MCQs on that. Pardon. KSF. KSF and CLAs are jargons, concepts related to SM, and we have to know about it as a framework. Should I declare what is that? PESTEL framework. PESTEL. Political, economic, social, technological. Remember? Second, what is the second E implies? You all wrote correctly, environmental. Isn't it? Gender, where does it come? Demographic. Per capita income comes under economic. You did that? No, that's what I'm saying. PESTEL framework. Don't forget that here. It's a heart and soul. Okay. So now come to the chapter 3. Now, yeah, I want to just show you the synopsis here. Look at this chapter. Isn't it very big? Now, I can hear one question from you. Which chapter is small, ma'am? Every chapter is big. Why are you saying this is big? Because I want to show you the synopsis and tell you, see, this much is there. You don't know from where they'll ask. Even knowing this is a revision, you know that. If somebody says, where does this OTT example come? They will not even know. It is coming under what? Mendelow's matrix. I mean, under this stakeholders model, it comes under internal environment analysis. OTT, a prominent case study which you should know. So, look at this internal environment analysis. For the why I particularly added the synopsis here is for you to understand that while external environment has its own matrices and model, here also you have equally. Mendelow's matrix comes here. Okay, so internal environment, we begin with meaning and definition, understanding the key stakeholders. You have example of OTT and you have Mendelow's matrix and how you have to explain this chart. Then you have a third component, strategic drivers. Who are the strategic drivers? You have part 1 is industry and market, part 2 is customers, part 3 is product and services, part 4 is channels, and under the fourth, fourth is resource capabilities, core competencies and resource capabilities. Fifth one is the SWOT, and the sixth one is competitive advantage, and there also you have Michael Porter's competitive advantage model you have, and this has many segments. Part 1 is sustainability, part 2 is Michael Porter's model, part 3 is focus strategies, and part 4 is best cost provider model. Okay, my dear students. Now, ma'am, what should I learn in this topic? Yes, I will tell you. So, internal environment. What do you mean by internal environment? Because the whole chapter is on internal environment. People, process, infrastructure, administrative apparatus, organization, culture, intangible aspects of working relationship, philosophies, values, ethics, all this. Right. And it involves understanding within the organization. Whatever it is, within the organization, that's a framework. And who are the stakeholders? You can divide it as internal and external. All these are external. Owners and employees, they bring under stakeholders. Now, to understand stakeholders only, OTT platform was given to you. Okay, each shareholder, each stakeholder has his own requirement. So, as a founder of the business, the owner of the business, as an employee of the business, I have to work in different ways to please each one of them. Can I say it is the same requirement for all the key stakeholders? No. That is why this OTT example. Are you clear? So look at the shareholder. He requires innovation and continuous creative content. Only then you will get market share. That is his idea. CEOs, it's a prestige for them. Intangible comes tops the list. Other factors are there. Major vendors. For production houses, what is the requirement? Growth. That's a requirement. Consumers, we want new content. We want value for money, isn't it? I pay and I have to get the value for money. Employees, they are after wages, benefits, and they are very clear. Okay, so that is what you are trying to see, and that's why this is very important. And this is your Mendelow's matrix. Mark it as important. So OTT is an example of how the requirements of different stakeholders are different. Okay, so this is important. Now for an essay question on explain the significance of shareholders, stakeholders in an organization. You can write who are those key players. You can write OTT. You can draw this matrix. The other thing is you can just write OTT as an example, not big framework. You can give this framework an explanation. Are you clear, my dear students? So that is where in our PPT slides, where I told you these aspects. Now remember, who are the internal members? Under internal members, all these are coming under internal members. People and a process, we had a term called as throughput. Did you see in your Bharadwaj material or parent source? Input, throughput and output. So for throughput, we had a clear-cut explanation in the class where we did how fast and efficient the program is. And generally the common man's word is bandwidth. Output relative to input. Okay, that's what we saw as throughput. And for key points on environment, internal environment is easy to understand. Then go to Mendelow's matrix. Okay, I'm going to do who is a stakeholder. I gave you traditional and modern definition. Traditionally, only shareholder was considered as a stakeholder. Is that clear? Only the investor was seen as a stakeholder because he is giving money. Only then a company can run. But what is a modern view? Government is a stakeholder. I am answerable to the government because I have to pay tax. I should not avoid tax. Society is telling that, see, you are causing contamination, you are causing pollution. I am answerable to them. I am answerable to the customer because only satisfied customer does a repeated purchase. I am answerable to the employees. Dissatisfied employees will leave. Now we realize modern perspective is whole lot. It's not only shareholder. Remember that. I was telling you that in the class many times. Okay, it's very important to know that. What is OTT? Some of them were not very clear. So in the class we saw detailed explanation. Many of you also have this OTT platforms, isn't it? What you want, you can have. It's not what is given, isn't it? Over the top. It's an internet. You are using that and getting it, isn't it? That's what we saw. Examples of OTTs we saw. Some of you said you are also using Netflix and all. Many people were using this, and we were giving you some important information on this. And this is your diagram which you just saw in the capsule, isn't it? Now Mendelow's matrix, you know what is this? It's a very, very simple framework, and look at how the column is this. So very important one. Now you have 4 columns, isn't it? Ma'am, how should I prepare for the examination? Please prepare it as an essay type question. Completely prepare it as an essay type question, because each one of this you have to write the correct answer. When you say keep satisfied stakeholders, who are those? They are people with high power but less interested in your success. You would have studied by now. We are only revising. So can we keep government? Good example with examples we saw. I have to satisfy the government, but they are not interested in my business flourishing. That is keep satisfied. Key players, who are those? High power, highly interested. High power, highly interested. I told you, shareholder is a very good example. Big power, money investor. And you also are people who are interested in your growth, prosperity. Low priority, low power, less interested. Who are those people? Business magazines and media houses. They write about you, isn't it? And keep informed, who are those? Low power, high interested. Now, who is at low power but high interested? Your employees, vendors, suppliers, legal experts. They have an interest. They have an interest. Take employees, but they cannot influence management. They are only workers, right? So this classification as per Mendelow, it has been given by an expert. You can't change it. In the class I told you that. So that is why this model has been given with this. Okay. Now, who are the strategic drivers in the organization? By drivers, some of you didn't know what it is. That's why I listed out. Industry and markets, customers, products, channels, and industry grouping. All it is very important. Industry. Why these examples? All of them come under automobile industry. I think in the notes we also have apparels also. Okay. Now, analyzing the industry and the market. How should I analyze? You remember the bubble diagram? How many of you remember the bubble diagram? On the, I will make it a little big. On the y-axis you have reputation. On the x-axis you have range of products. Okay. Can anybody looking at that bubble diagram tell me the difference between ABC and PQR?
ABC has very little amount of product in the market. market, and its reputation is equal is proportional to the amount of product it has in the market.
Okay.
Whereas when compared to PQR, it also provides a diverse amount of products in the to general public, and it due to the diverse product it provides to the public, its reputation is proportional to that level.
Perfect answer. Now, my dear students, this length or the size, see, this length is your reputation, and from few to many as you travel here. Now look at XYZ. Reputation is less, but products are not few, many, which means what? Quality is not there, pricing is not there, people are not satisfied. Look at ABC, very few, reputation is very high. That's why she was using the word proportionate also. So very few products, but the product is qualitative. So your reputation is very high. On the vertical axis, remember, as you grow tall, high reputation. Closer you are to the origin, less product. Away you are from the product, more products. So without giving many products, ABC has gained a tall reputation, good reputation. How? The quality speaks. But look at GHI, compare GHI with XYZ. What is the difference between these two? You tell me. GHI and XYZ. What is the difference between the two? Who is having high?
GHI.
Very good. Regarding products, same. GHI is also same, XY, but the reputation of GHI is higher than XYZ. So, as I was explaining in the class, I was telling you that you please do the bubble diagram and also give such explanation. I was telling you this. What is it? What are these companies? This is what we discussed in the class. What you appropriately say. Okay? Make use of that and tell. And the next part we are going to tell is use of consumer data. Data is very important. Look at this. Consumer data. So, you have customers in thousands. You have value. Low value, that is high value, medium value and low value. So, collection and maintenance of data on customer is important. That's why they have given this in the parents or which we have also added here in your material. Okay. Now, customers versus consumers, you know that already, and products and services. My dear students, for a new product, pricing strategies are three basic objectives. Follow customer, that is customer-centric approach. You can follow sufficient returns approach, increasing market share. So you have to blend these objectives. Customer-centric means low price only. You can't charge high price. Sufficient returns means you have to cover the cost, so high returns. Increasing market share, I have to take into account cost plus margin. I have to take into account the customer. I have to retain the market means vis-a-vis the customer what I am charging. Are you clear? Now comes a very important segment. I think mostly we'll be closing with this. Types of marketing. Make it as very important. Repeated question. In your capsule, I've written the type, side heading and the key point. Okay. Now, make it as very important. I find it in every question paper. It's been there. It's there in every question paper. So, I want to give you some idea on it. Okay. Please look at this, my dear students. See, I think the screen should be clear to you. Now, repeated question in the examination as we go through it. Social marketing is one where you are doing the marketing as a campaign to create awareness, not to smoke, not to drive rashly, no drunken and driving, not allowed, isn't it? All these kinds of things to create social awareness, that is social marketing. Augmented marketing, my dear students, please understand that the term augmented means enhanced, increased or additional services. For example, online computer repair services. You can connect in a desktop and you can book online, you can do it online. See, when your Wi-Fi is not working, we just, there's something called as run diagnostics. When you do that run diagnostics, option appears and tells you for due to what fault Wi-Fi is not operating. Is it a problem from your side, inside your house? Is it some cable fault outside? Should you call an engineer? It's answering. That is augmented service. I do that in my house. For Wi-Fi is cut off. Now this terrible rains, right? Maybe cable outside or inside we have to do some adjustments, switch off and switch on. We have to call an engineer to that extent. So that is augmented, additional service provision. Okay. And third one is direct marketing. The seller connecting you through email, interacting with you directly. How many of you have got this wishes and all? You know, thank you wishes, birthday wishes. Or whenever a product is launched, they tell you Titan launches a new brand. You can buy it. This can be a best Teacher's Day gift. Whatever it is, no, you can. So direct contact through a media with the customer is direct marketing. So it could be email, it could be tele-shopping, it could be any kind of electronic marketing. Now relationship marketing is, you are my preferred customer. I want to give you some privileges. You are my, see for example, those who are flying regularly, you are given the special launch to be stationed, be seated when there's a flight delay. Today maybe you are booked a flight, okay, and there is a bad weather. You are a known customer. You are a customer who comes regularly. You are given a privilege. The relationship, to foster relationship, that marketing is done. Are you clear? Services. Now, techniques of marketing to a service itself. Service has to be promoted. Do you know that, my dear students, you have to promote service? What is that? This plumber, this electrician, all these need marketing. Otherwise, how will you know? They give you leaflets, they give you pamphlets, they give you notices. They have billboards, bigger one have billboards. Big companies, home appliance companies, they say we also have a service center. So marketing, they are a service component. Marketing of services is services marketing. Are you clear? Yes. Then person, who is that? You can market a celebrity, isn't it? Sports star, film celebrities, achievers. You can market them, you can project them, you can tell about them. Even mentors, Dr. Abdul Kalam, what all can promote. And for a celebrity, that kind of marketing is important. Okay. Then organization. Can we not promote an organization? Yes. We are, it's advertising. We are also there in the market, right? Place. You are not aware of that place unless and until it is advertised, unless and until it is promoted through packages. See, now these days we find people going to Maldives. Anybody and everybody says that I go to Maldives for a vacation, to that island which was unknown, like it was so remote. But now most of them immediately say we are going for Maldives as a tour package. So you can promote a person, you can promote an organization, you can promote a place, right? Okay. Enlightened marketing. Market is very important, because separately also they are asking. Because enlightened marketing, you have 5 principles which I'll show you. They may ask you, bring out the principles of enlightened marketing. Okay, I will show you now. What is differential marketing? My dear students, differential means what? You are creating some discrimination. You can deliver a product for poor income groups. You can deliver a product for high income groups. Everybody, see, we have given you the example of soaps. For a poor income category or a low income category, it is just to clean themselves. A means of, hygienic, a product of hygiene. But people upper income, it's a sophisticated kind of a thing. They want a fragrance, they want their flavor. I mean, they look for so many ingredients, nourishing their skin, moisturizing. Isn't it? Your shampoos. Look at what low income brackets look for. Look at what high income groups demand. Okay. Then synchro marketing. What is the synchro marketing? You are going to alter the demand pattern. Why should I alter? See, weekends, something is crowded. Weekdays, it is not. So what am I going to do? So what I have to do in such a way that, let it be, say, a movie ticket or whatever it is, it's sold at a lower price during weekday than weekend. What will you prefer then? Weekdays. Okay. So that is a synchro. I am synchronizing, right? Okay, concentrated marketing. You know what is a concentrated marketing? Where you want to establish your forte. Or you want to make yourself popular among urban customers, rural customers, foreign customers, local customers. That is what is forte or niche or concentrate. This is my group. My locality is my group. They will address me with my name. I know them with their names. How many of us, the shopkeepers, call us by name? They identify. Madam, whatever product you ask, it has come. They call us and tell us. You are a regular user, no? The fresh pack has come. So that is, for them, it is the locality, the locale, the vicinity is their main. They are not exporters, they are not planning big. I am pleasing my customers. My forte, what is my main? Demarketing. You know what is meant by demarketing? Somewhere there is congestion, you want to deload it. What is that? And very good example are like this zoos and zoological parks, etc. So they are overcrowded. So you have to do demarketing. Means what? You temporarily you want to reduce the demand. Probably you will close it on certain days. Timings are reduced. You don't want crowds throughout the day. Okay, that is demarketing. And as I was telling you, my dear students, enlightened marketing. Please look at this. And do you see the 5 points? I will close with this segment for today because I've been taking a lot of your time. Look at the 5. It is a standard question. They will give one of the following is not a principle of enlightened marketing. That's why I say you should know it. So what are the 5 principles? Customer oriented marketing, innovated marketing, value marketing, sense of mission marketing, societal marketing. They are not asking you the explanation, but they are asking you which one of the following is not a principle of enlightened marketing, which is a principle of enlightened marketing. A very good example is Nivea cream. So look at this. This is an ad, creative advertising of Nivea. Do you notice that Nivea compact lid is there, black in color, and like a crescent moon, it's opened and you see the cream, that white cream as a crescent moon, half moon. Do you see that? Look at the backdrop. Backdrop is black, night. Okay, night. And look at this Nivea lid, cream's lid, because it's Nivea night. A cream to apply in the night, Nivea night with the lid black and half opened. The cream there is appearing as a moon. Isn't it creative advertising? That is the base of enlightened marketing. We start with a customer oriented marketing, innovative marketing, value marketing, sense of mission marketing, societal marketing. Are you clear, my dear students? So with this we will wind up for today. We have done 3.5 topics. The rest part, we have 4th and 5th. A part of it we can do on Friday. Same way we will do some questions from the previous year's papers, case studies and MCQs. So honestly tell me, do you feel that you have done some SM today? Have you got into some topics? Have you got some insights into it, like a revision, names of the experts? Yes? Is it useful in some way for the examination? Okay. So we thought, yeah, so okay, so you did find some utility in it, isn't it? Okay, so we will have a similar pattern there on that day also, and all these materials will be shared to you soft copy, and whatever is needed for hard copy, that also will be released to you. Okay, thank you for your participation, particularly in the tests and classroom exercise. But for you, I cannot do the exercise alone, right? And I think you did a good job also. It was not like you didn't touch at all. You were able to do your answers well. Case studies also when it was end-to-end and given. So with all these revision materials, please do well in the examination. Okay. Thank you and have a great day. Hope to see you all on Friday. Yes. I'll ask you a word from you, all three. Yes. That's good. Thank you so much.